You might often encounter students who read something, but it becomes quite evident that they have very little understanding of what they have read. Reading is a cross-curricular subject, and if you haven't mastered the understanding, it will make learning many subjects and gaining new knowledge difficult. Reading comprehension is most commonly defined as the ability to understand the main points of what has been read. There is not a magic formula to teaching reading comprehension, as there are many ways, but it involves training the thought process of the mind and teaching specific strategies to use while reading. This lesson will focus on how to improve reading comprehension before, during, and after reading takes place. Reading is a subject that students either really love or really hate. So let's try connecting reading comprehension skills to a metaphor that most students can relate to: a trip to the movie theater. Let's think of reading as our featured presentation. If a new television show is about to hit the small screen, or a movie is soon to hit major theaters, chances are a lot of time was spent creating a trailer. Students should be taught to anticipate what they are about to read. They should be taught how to make their own preview or trailer in their minds. This process of creating their own preview should involve seeking out several main features of a text. For example, the student should first preview and predict what the title is about. Then, the student should look at major headings in a text or story. The student should also identify anything with bold print, which is usually vocabulary. Along with that, students should seek out any visuals and captions. Finally, after looking over all of that, the student should predict the main purpose of the text or story. When visiting a movie theater, movie previews play before the main movie, so do what is needed before. Grab the popcorn and snacks and move on to the featured presentation. The featured presentation is what one goes to the movies for. The wait is over, and the show is about to begin. There are several special things that people take note of while watching a new film. One is the characters. Another is the plot. The mood of the movie allows a connection to the plot and its characters by capturing the viewer's emotions. When teaching comprehension of reading, always teach students to look for a connection to what they are reading, whether it be a certain character, setting, or other part of the text that the student can relate to. It is also important to teach students to look for the main points or ideas in a piece of text. Ask questions such as, what was the recurring theme throughout the text? What patterns did you notice? What were the main ideas presented? Movies often have a message or agenda they want to push. And yes, so does literature. It is written with a main idea and a purpose. Teach students to analyze the characters by asking questions such as, who is the story about? What personality traits do characters exhibit? What do characters do when plot-changing events occur? For example, if the student is reading a book about 3 little pigs, have the students note each character, 3 pigs and the wolf, and then write down 2 to 3 traits about them. No character goes unnoticed in a movie, so why ignore characters or people who are in books or text? Once a movie is complete, you form an opinion about what you have seen and usually share it with others, whether negative or positive. After reading, students should be taught concepts such as to summarize the material that has been introduced while reading. A great way to get students to summarize main points is to focus on key events in the beginning, middle, and ending of the text, and put them in a brief and sequential order. Other after-reading activities could include creating questions about the reading, searching for or defining words that are unclear, and drawing conclusions about events in the text. Students should always be taught to be attentive and critical of what they read. There is not a single way to teach students reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is most often defined as the ability to understand what has been read. The student should have a grasp of the main points. From a teacher, the modeling of the thought process before, during, and after reading should be presented to students. The student should also be taught to notate important areas of the text like the titles, headings, visuals, and new vocabulary. Lastly, the student should be taught to form a connection with the text they read or find a way to relate the material to their everyday life. The value of reading comprehension spans across all subject areas, and students need a firm foundation in how to comprehend in order to help them get the overall big picture academically.